Okay, we're back. I have herbal tea, and I went and looked up the pronunciation of that word. It's apparently Raymond's. It sounds like it's French, but I guess that's how you pronounce it in English. Anyway, into the Black Wagon to talk to Jodariel. She seems to have something on her mind. You sensed Jodariel's steel gaze well before you turned to her. Reader, rummaging around the wagon once again. Tell me something, now that you are here. Look at me. Are you afraid of me? You consider the question. You've never before met someone like her, but do know something of what happens to those who remain in the downside for many years. Jodariel wishes to know if you fear her. You can admit it can be a bit intense. You are very much aware that she could snap you like a twig at any point. Deny feeling that way. From what you know of her thus far, you sense no need to feel afraid of her, or be the silent protagonist that you are, and say nothing. Whatever she may be getting at, you think it best not to indulge her this time. Like a rude-ass motherfucker. I'm gonna deny feeling that way. You tell her that, although you do not yet know each other well, you do not fear her, and on the contrary feel safer in her presence. Truly. In that case, I have much work left to do. You shall fear me yet, if you survive this place. Now then, I shall go make my rounds. She walks away. You feel the floor of the wagon shake with her step. Jodariel gained +1 hope for the next rite. So sometimes you will do stuff or have interactions that will increase or decrease your party's stats. Hope affects, this attribute affects duration of banishment, one's capacity to see the light in things. It's a neat little thing. Ryuki's status is currently arguing with Headwind. Gonna clean cobwebs, because I'm not a fucking animal. Let's see. Jodariel is nearby. Headwind is arguing with Ryuki. Don't think there's any other updates. I'm gonna poke this info. Continue on your journey. We're going to Jomware Valley. Oh fuck, that had a thing. I'm sorry, I didn't read it. But I'm pretty sure it says that we're going to Jomware Valley. Oh. The climate here in Jomware Valley is hot and uncomfortable. On top of that... Okay, I've already read that. We have a stowaway. Home? We can go home? She must have latched onto the undercarriage as he crossed the ridge. Her manner is odd, though you sense she means no harm. She must have overheard some of your fellow exiles' conversations. You need but say the word, Headwind. Oh, come on, you can't be serious, Jody. She's just some kid who managed to climb aboard our wagon undetected, but still. Do it, Jody. Jodariel approaches the girl and looms over her, and then kills her. No. Listen to me, girl. We cannot guarantee that we shall get you home, or any one of us. But at present, we have room for you and adequate provisions. You may accompany us for the time. Jodariel leaves without awaiting a response, presumably to make room in the wagon for your new guest. The stowaway is overjoyed at this. Really? You are so kind. You are most kind to someone you just met like me. May the 8 scribes smile upon you all. 8 scribes, some revere them as gods, believing they bound themselves to exile so that others could live free. Centuries of oral tradition have shaped the history of the 8 scribes into myth and legend. She claps her hands, bursts into laughter, and performs some sort of dance. Ryuki stares at all of this and leans in close to Headwind. Hey, so, what gives? First the reader, now we're taking her along? What, we gonna take every mite bit and drive imp we find now too? Easy, Ryuki. I think he'd want for us to bring this one along. Who, Sandalwood? I thought you said he'd asked we'd find someone to fit in every type of mask. Near as I can tell, yours would fit her just fine. And Sandalwood is the apparent name of some mysterious informant of Headwind, Jodariel, and Ryuki. He asked that we use our best judgment. Besides, we send her away, she'll go telling anyone she finds about us. We can't risk that right now. So, I can come in? It's very hot, and I'm a little thirsty, and a little tired, too. Yes, you're welcome here with us. One question, though. What do we call you? Well, this is embarrassing, I think, but I don't know for sure. It's just back home, they called me lots of names, like for the color of my hair. They made fun of you just because you got gray hair? That's it! My name, it rhymes with gray. It's just, they called me lots of names. You sense the girl is struggling to recollect a certain name she felt best suited her. You think you can help the stowaway girl make peace with her name. You get to name her. Regardless of what you name her, it is voiced. You sense her name is May. She looks like she could be a May, doesn't she? Or Kay. She does look like she could be a Kay. You sense her name is Faye. She could definitely be a Faye, of that you have no doubt. Or Day. You suppose that she could be named Day. Or Zay. Her name could be Zay, however uncommon it may be. Or Shay. She looks like she could probably be a Shay. Or Ray. She could be a Ray perhaps as well. There are several other names ending in A, as you are aware. You sense her name is Lay. She looks like her name might be Lay, you suppose. Or Che. She could go by Che, perhaps, or perhaps not. She looks as though she could go by the name of Nay. She could maybe be a Tay, couldn't she? She looks like she could be a Jay, for sure. Gay the Grey was perhaps how her tormentors made light of her. And you can seriously name her Bay. This one cannot possibly be right, can it? As tempted as I am to name her Bay, I'm gonna go with May this time around. Actually, no, I'd have not heard this one voiced, so I think, no. I'm gonna name her May. You suggest that the stowaway girl's name is May. She is a young vagabond girl with an odd manner and an unshakable sense of curiosity. Why, that's it! My name is May. My name is May. Where I am from, they call me May the Moontouch, but I guess maybe you don't have to say that part because I didn't really like it. Okay, same thing. Your fellow exiles decide to bring May along for now. She almost collapses from exhaustion, so you take her in and show her somewhere she can rest. May joined the group. She is tired, but excited. She is a great character. Welcome her aboard. The Black Wagon will rise in a somewhat peaceful stretch of Dromore Valley. Your companions wish to hole up here for the night to give May and all of you a little time to rest. Let's go talk to some peeps. Huh? It's May. May seems to be recovering well since you found her. She seems fascinated by everything and everyone in the wagon. Oh, hi miss. You were the one who knew my name. You guessed it right, you did. Thank you for your hospitality. I've just been eating with the imps and talking to the wagon. This wagon, he and I are the same age, almost to the very day, but I am older by 3 weeks, so I am giving him a hard time. Little brother, I call him. He is a good wagon, isn't he? He will take us very, very far. My little brother, sure, he pulls at my hair at times, and I don't like it very much. But he is family. I am happy to be here with my family. I thought that I had lost them all again. I thought that I had lost them all. Oh, but we have stopped now, haven't we? Then I should go outside to dance, in case the scribes are watching. Bye, miss! Smiling back at you, she prances out the door. Don't think we have her item yet. Currently, Hedwin is playing cards with Ruki. Jody is staring into the distance. Ruki is playing cards with Hedwin. We do not have her on the roster yet. Consider your options. Your fellow exiles are taking a moment to unwind. Tadariel mentioned motions for you to join them. Best get used to your new life here, reader. We seldom get such moments of reprieve. Perhaps some further study of that book will pass the time. You could join me for a little stroll if you're feeling up to it. Always something to be foraged around here. Or you could teach us more of what you know. Prepare us for the next rite. In any case, we do what we can to stay busy. It keeps the sense of isolation well at bay. At certain junctures, you may choose from several vocations, which are ways in which you can make yourself useful during occasional moments of free time. So you can either forage for resources, search the surrounding area for valuables to add to your Black Wagon stash of goods, which is basically you rummage around for stuff that you could probably sell, study in private, hone your skills as a reader to grant small global bonuses to your fellow exiles starting the Rites, which I never really did that much just because I found other options more useful. Or mentor or companion. Teach your fellow exiles of the old ways to raise their individual rank in the Rites more quickly. Gonna do that this time. Having gleaned knowledge from the Book of Rites, you can impart some of its teachings. As each exile's path toward enlightenment is personal, you will have to mentor them one at a time. So, Ruki is the least enlightened so far. Help Ruki gain enlightenment. At certain thresholds, his rank in the Rites will increase. Gotta mentor Ruki. Sure, sister, I could go for some enlightenment right about now. Might take the edge off. You illustrate to Ruki some of the intricacies of the Rites, focusing on how all three in a triumvirate can move and act as of one mind. You sense he grasps some of the concepts. See that, chums? Old Ruki Greentail's got some bite in him yet. You can now choose a mastery. So there's Maneuvers of Many-Mane, Rites Masteries, enhancing a Kerr's agility and fortune. There had never been a Kerr quite so bold or tireless in spirit as the famous Alpha Chief Jomor Many-Mane. Or Traits of the Alpha Chief. Rites Masteries, enhancing a Kerr's relentlessness and fervor. Other Kerrs of his age all needed to learn to navigate the many quirks of Jomor's personality. So there's Glory Dive. Ruki deals an additional 5 glory when punching into the adversary's 5. God, I'm so good at words tonight. Jomor Many-Mane was a vision to behold as he threw himself from one reckless situation into another. Or Cloud Jump, which means he can jump a second time. When other Kerrs proved they could jump far, Jomor decided he would jump twice as far. I think increasing his glory would be beneficial. Whew! Gotta hand it to you, sister. That book's not quite as boring as I thought. I better go lie down. And off we go. The path leading further west splits off, and once again your fellow exiles turn the choice of where to go over to you. May seems enthusiastic for whichever route you choose. So you can go either to Fall Flat. The south route across the Jomor Valley is riddled with barren rock and bone. May believes those who travel this path shall be as swift as Jomor of the 8 Scribes. Or Gloomhive. The north route across the Jomor Valley passes the remains of the Hive Titan. May believes those who travel this path shall be as strong as Goal of the 8 Scribes. By the way, if it's not already apparent, all of the Rites locations where the actual Rites take place all have remains of previously slain Titans at each of them. Like, they're just kind of hanging out there. I'm going to choose Blue Hive. May is behaving stranger than usual as you pass through the rocky pathways of Gloomhive. The north route, the lifeless carapace of Beelanthius still looms over the western edge of the valley. The scribes, I think they're here. I think that they were here. Can you not feel their presence in the sand and in the air and all about? At first you pay it little heed, though later you observe your fellow exiles seem to be in better spirits than before. Perhaps it was the previous day's rest that did everyone good. Your companions gained +1 presence for the next rite, and presence is a thing that affects aura size, one's inner and outer strength combined. En route to the Spring of Jomor, you hear all about the roving slug market, crude trading post found on the downside. Commonwealth contraband sometimes finds its way to the downside, where it is traded and sold, which appears to be nearby. Ruki insists you take a look after you settle in. I think the flashing means there's something new. Yeah. He is an opportunistic and well-connected cur, still clinging to his once comfortable lifestyle. Page revealed, last emperor, and there is someone we can talk to. Hedwyn. Hedwyn motions for you to join him. While his manner is easygoing as ever, you sense he is searching for the right words for what he's about to say. You'd asked what I did to get thrown in here. Figured I'd tell you. The others know. I was on the blood border for several years, an outrider. No real rank, but a pretty important job. Whenever the harps swooped in, it was up to me to raise the alarm. So the blood border, the northern edge of the Commonwealth, is a flat and vulnerable expanse. The high-wing remnant seized upon it at every opportunity, from cover of clouds or darkness. Harps are a winged race, also known as the high-wing remnants, at war with the Commonwealth. They are as coarse as their feathers. They hold themselves superior. The Archjustice Androbelus the Ninth. One day the harps came without warning. No alarm. It was a slaughter. So I heard, because I wasn't there. I was with one of them. Look, that's a story for another time. The point is, they branded me Hedwyn the Deserter before they sent me here. I didn't want to fight. I abandoned my post. My friends, they paid dearly for it. I ended up down here. Hedwyn looks at you as his smile reappears. It's not something I like to talk about, as you can tell, but I know that you'd been wondering, and you deserve to know. I made a promise to you earlier when we first met, that you'd go free as well if any of us go free. That promise might not carry that much weight, I guess, coming from a deserter. Anyway, that's all. Thank you for hearing me out. There's not much good here in the downside, but at least the past is behind us. He leaves you there to consider his words. And we have a roster bio update. We have now learned his sign. He is a Lenorial, so basically a Leo. He was born on the 29th of 7th moon, suggesting he is devoted and faithful. His crime is desertion. He fled the blood border's north front without leave and did not return. Alleged motive is insurrection. The records state he wished to relay Commonwealth military secrets to the enemy. Exiled 5 years ago. Hedwyn has survived for 5 years in the downside thus far. It is a life sentence. And his biography now says, while serving on the blood border, by a chance he had a run-in with a lone enemy harp. They each felt a powerful connection and escaped together rather than fight each other to the death as would have been expected. He lost contact with her after their encounter and left his post in search of her, but he was caught and exiled. In the downside, he found Jodariel, who looked after him when he was a child. In time, he caught wind of an unbelievable rumor, and first heard the name of Sandalwood. You know, you meet a girl once, you get your friends killed. You have a new page. The last emperor, in the words of the Master General. How many nations did I scour in the name of Solium Mur? How many countries fell before our spears and blades? Such questions mattered less to me with every passing victory. Our legions swelled across the land, and our dominion grew. The Emperor Solium Mur paid all this little heed. He only tended to his personal affairs. Our legions relished the autonomy. We did not know that the Emperor cared nothing for his legions, nor his people. He cared only for that which was before him. One day, he learned of such a thing as to befit his name, and vowed to seek it out. That's all so far. Let's see. Hedwyn is nearby. Ruki is sniffing the book. Jody is meditating. Slug market, where you can trade your foraged goods for things of greater value. Hey guys, how's it going, Mr. Greentail? Been a while and all that. Hey Ron, it's going. Ron, he is a traveling sales creature because nobody knows what he is apparently, and proprietor of the Downside Slug Market. One would assume that he is a slug, given that he runs a slug market and has slug-like features, but you know, whatever. Say, how come you set up shop all the way out here? Isn't this a little out of the way? Oh, well, let's just say, you guys, you ain't my only customers. You see, Dad and I, we know this business pretty good. We've been around the block, and so... As Ron keeps blathering, Ruki signals to you in a furtive way. Here's the deal, sister. Got an informant says there's something here connected to this Rites business. See if you can spot it. Should be able to pawn some of our stuff to make the trade. And don't even worry about Falcon Ron. So anyways, you guys got something for me or what? That black bloom you got there, I could take it off your paws if you want. And you drag stuff to sell it. You get soul, which are old coins you could trade at the slug market. Most of the fallen empire's currency was destroyed, though some still circulates in black markets. Hey, you know, I'll take it, Mr. Greentail, though you drive a pretty hard bargain. Now, you gonna take something off my hands here, or what? You drag the moon crest to your sash. After being banished by an adversary, the bearer has a chance to return immediately at 30%. You can upgrade them with Stardust that you get later. A trinket resembling the entrance sigil of the Nightwings. It shines with a faint light. That's a one-of-a-kind thinger you just got there, you know? And you got yourself a real good deal for me, so I don't know what this voice is. So thanks. And you equip it, and he just kind of, like, makes noises at you as you shop. You can ask him to be quiet, but he doesn't really quiet down. He just sort of does things slightly quieter, but still makes a lot of noise. And I kind of feel bad whenever I ask him to be quiet, so I just let him do his thing. Apparently any one of us bozos can get a little edge out of that thing during the rites, I mean. Just a question of who gets to try it out. Each of your fellow exiles may have a talisman equipped. Items imbued with various enchantments, exiles may equip one at a time. A talisman's true power lies in the faith of its holder. Decide who shall wield it. And Stradariel takes the longest to come back, so I will place it on her. Anyways, Dad over here, his feet, you know, we've been having some trouble with his feet, getting real something or other from all the hoofing around, so you see, Ryuki indicates to you that now would be a good time to depart. See you, Mr. Greentail, and your friend there too. I like her, seems real nice, you know. Let's commence the rite. As you complete preparations for the rites to commence, you notice May approaching. You notice, too, that she is wearing your companion's raiments. We can go home? May, I thought I made myself quite clear that you will not to touch those robes. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dario. I just thought that maybe you were being funny at the time? Unbelievable. Hey, something's happening in the sky. I think we're up. During the rites, avoid the auras of your adversaries and banish them with your own. You lose your aura when you grasp the orb.
Reader, what brings you to the spring of Jomir? Why, it must have been the stars. Although it seems that your triumvirate now numbers 4 exiles, not the expected 3. The rules of the rites were not created for you to besmirch. Prepare now to confront the fate. They still honor the traditions of the scribes, and surely have been longing for this chance. But first, you have a choice to make.
The sky burns bright once more as your next adversaries in the rites approach. Their apparent leader is a bent old cur who regards you with a formal bow. At his side is an intense young man. I hail you, exiles of the Nightwings, and am grateful that you chose to grace us with your presence once again. I am called Dalbert Oldheart, and this is my son, Almer. Dalbert Oldheart, which is kind of a tongue twister. He is an honorable old cur bent on upholding the sacred traditions of the rites with his son. And Almer? He is the dutiful foster son of Dalbert Oldheart, and is very protective of him above all else. We need not greet them, Father. We shall face you in the field this night, and may the victor's pyre burn eternal. But first we offer you a token of good faith, and show of appreciation that the Nightwings have returned. He's like one of the only triumvirate leaders that's not kind of a jackass. He's really cool. Dalbert approaches you with something in his paw. You sense his motives are sincere as he hands to you a small talisman. You receive the Tailwind Crest from Dalbert. Grants the bearer +2 quickness, a forged metal brooch, cool to the touch, depicting some triumph of the Sea Dominion. That Kur was very kind, and his son, he was so caring, wasn't he? When can we start? I want to help you beat them. We need 3 of us exactly to conduct a rite, but we've got 4 now besides the reader. This ought to be her call. If someone has to stand aside this time, I volunteer. No volunteering, chum. It ought to be the reader's call, remember? Very well then, reader. Who shall it be? Henceforth, you shall choose 3 exiles to conduct each rite. Prepare to make your choice.
Who shall strive for freedom?
So if you choose one and leave the other out, I know Jodariel and Ruki get super pissy, so I'm just gonna choose them and May. Oh yeah. And equip Ruki, I guess. No, I'm gonna equip May with a talisman.
Ruki.
Don't have to tell me twice, sister. Jodi.
Jodariel.
As you will. And May.
May.
Oh, me? Thank you. Thank you for believing in me, because I think the scribes do too. Hey, I'll have other chances. I think you did the right thing. Nightwings, I trust you are all well prepared for these old eyes, yet see that the rite shall be commencing momentarily. Are you quite ready too, my son? I hope so, father. Here now, let me show you.
Begin. Too bad for that one.
They're all super cool, and I always feel kind of bad.
The path to glory laid bare. Begone!
Oh. Nope. Nope, nope, no, no, no.
'Twas dangerously close.
Oh, that was a bad decision.
No sign of the fate for now.
Thankfully, Jodariel is basically just a truck.
Jodariel threw it in.
Look forth, my son. The waters of Jumwer Many-Mane bring blessings unto this eve. Unto us this eve, sorry. Perhaps our chance has come at last. We need more than blessings to prepare against them, father. Please, keep fighting. Oh shit, I forgot to read that. Oh, well, there's a thing about him later.
A boon come from the stars themselves.
Nope, nope, nope.
Alas. That was the last of them. Flung with force of will. Indeed. Fear not the purified flame. The rite is nearly ended. The fires wane. And poor Ruki. And it is done. The Nightwings prevail. It was a glorious performance, I must say. Perhaps you shan't be quite so fortunate next time.
I guess we won? Indeed. I wonder what will happen to the Fate. They seemed so nice, didn't they? And the Lord for the Fate says, an honorable triumvirate determined to uphold the traditions of the Rites, led by the Cur Dalbert Oldhard, with the help of his adopted son, the savage Almer the Helpless. Exiles of the Nightwings, the dawn is yours, and may you earn your freedom. But father, the dawn might have been ours. We failed, and I have failed you. Nonsense. We are the Fate. We do what is ordained, and nothing less. Now let us go, my son, for I am weary once again.
There is much to learn from this experience. Until the next rite.
Hello? Excuse me? I mean, would you excuse me for a moment, do you think? You're one of them. What do you want? Father needs me. Oh, I'm sorry. I think that I forgot what I was going to say. I'm so embarrassed. What is the matter with you? It is against the rights for us to even speak like this. I did not know that, I don't think. No one said anything like that to me, but then all this, it's very new to me, and so I thought maybe you cannot be serious. Yes, I mean, I like to laugh. I like to laugh a lot, and you, how about you? This is a Nightwing's trick. Father told me not to speak with any of you. But I have to go. Wait, Almer, wait, I think that was your name. Was that even your name? Wait. You may switch to a different difficulty setting at any time in the options menu. I'm gonna stay at standard because I'm a plebe. And Shifty Guy decides to just fucking ollie-outy. As you return to the wagon after besting the Fate, you notice Jodariel tense up and frown. Where did he go? Who? Wait, the sleeping guy? The minstrel. He's gone. You see, it is true. There is no trace of the lone minstrel who'd been lying still in the corner of the wagon all this time. You join the others in search for him outside. Your fellow exiles had revealed nothing to you of the lone minstrel or how they found him, though you sense their concern as they scour the vicinity for him. We'll worry about the minstrel, my friend. You worry about the stars. Wherever they guide us, we're going. You gaze upon the stars once more. And we should... I don't think we have unlocked any other... No. Wait, that one might be... Nope. Nope. Okay, those are all ones we've read before. So, Ha'ub, it's a midnight star. The midnight star burns bright over the standing stones at the edge of flagging hands. Everyone, we're headed back east, all the way across the valley. Towards the cairn of Ha'ub, then. Cairn of Ha'ub. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The accursed imp here felled the mighty Bone Titan, Shaq's 6 shoulders. Which is a hell of a name. That's right. We have to risk it. What if that minstrel guy doesn't turn up by then? We shall find him, on this night or another. They continue searching for some time. However, the minstrel is nowhere to be found. Someone wants to talk to us. It's Hedwyn. After having secured victory over the Fate rather decisively last night, you find Hedlund off on his own. You sense he wants to talk about your decision to exclude him from conducting the rite. I guess we'll have some tough choices to make before all this is over, my friend. Just been thinking about that. You know, not upset or anything. No pressure. I'm glad you let the others go instead of me during the rite. I mean that. All the more since we succeeded. I don't know what's more intense, participating in the rite or just watching from the sidelines. Anyway, thank you for checking in. I'm off to go make sure we're ready to move. He departs to check on things outside. You sense that he has no misgivings about what transpired and is more concerned at present about the missing minstrel. Whereas the other two, if you leave them out, they get so pissed at you. Jody's status is tying the wagon with Ruki. Hedwyn is nearby. Ruki is tying the wagon with Jodario, and we now have May's scribe catcher, the bundle of sticks May insisted on hanging in the rafters. She believes it brings good fortune. May is currently making dust drawings. Speaking of dust drawings, I need to clean cobwebs. I don't think there's really any effect that this has other than being something for you to poke, but I have to do it. It's important. And I believe May is now in the roster, so we can check out what she says. The faithful drifter, she is a young vagabond girl with an odd manner and an unshakable sense of curiosity. Race is savage, which is kind of like nomad, but not. Men and women ostracized for their deficiencies or differences, even prior to their sentencing. Also called the moon-touched, they proved overly resistant to the principles of lawful society. And moon-touched. The Commonwealth never did know how to handle those who did not fit neatly into its mold. It is said those born under a wild moon oft lead a charmed and troubled life. Observations are, she appears to be a vagabond who has wandered the downside for some time and has somehow managed to get by. Her simple and sincere demeanor suggests she likely was shunned in the Commonwealth and would have been considered a savage by the standards there. She seems unusually interested in the legends of the 8 scribes. Okay. Continue on your journey. There is still no sign of the lone minstrel, although Jodario tracks potential signs of movement east, the same way you were headed. You consider where to search for him. Go to Glue Hive. Jodario believes the missing minstrel must have taken the same route you took earlier, or Fall Flat. Headwind thinks the missing minstrel could have taken the route opposite to the one you took. The result might be the same either way, but I want to make Jodario happy in case she decides to tell me about herself, so... As you make your way through the stark badlands of Blue Hive, all there is to show for the missing minstrel is a deeper scowl on Jodario's face. Last. I felt certain that he would have taken our same route to the Spring of Dromur. It's alright, Jody. He could have gone anywhere. Likely there was nothing to be found either way. We should keep moving. You pick up bits and pieces of the minstrel's significance to your fellow exiles. He was there when they first discovered the Black Wagon, but they speak little more of it for now. Stop the wagon. What? How come? Because of her. They're coming! They're coming for us! We have to be ready, we have to! Does she mean what I think she means? I believe so. Your fellow exiles scramble to prepare for the wagon for whatever is out there. Once you help them settle in, perhaps you can learn more of their source of concern. Gonna check on people, don't think anyone's in here. Ruki is nearby. Headwind is practicing his letters, which is cute. Jody is gathering infeed with May, which is also cute. And May is gathering infeed with Jodario. It's hard to not call her Jay because I named her Jay last playthrough. They are coming for us. They fear the scribes. They fear the scribes, I know they do. What's she talking about? What's going on? Howlers. Lots of them. Then what are we gonna do? They fear the scribes. Calm yourself, May. We shall give them reason to fear us as well. We'll use the remnants and the books. Indeed, one of us can draw them out under the reader's watch. It shall be just like one of our rites. Headwind turns to you. It seems we need your help in this, my friend. You just need a volunteer to go with you. I will do it, miss. Please, you have to let me, and the scribes, they will protect me. I know they will. Jodario exchanges looks with Headwind. Each of them nods at you as if to signal their approval. May intends to help fend off the Howlers. Prepare for them. Toggle aim assist in the options menu if you are like me and suck. That howling sound, it means they're here! Oh, by the scribes, they're here. Fend off the Howlers. I don't actually use May that much, so it's kind of hard to get a hang of her power casting. Which is whenever it flashes, you can cast stronger and longer. Didn't mean to rhyme that. Yeah. I am not good at this. I think there's many more. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yep. Oh, I didn't realize this gave you money. I'm very good at paying attention. Is it over now at last? I think it is. Oh, those poor and wretched beasts. Just then, May spots something creeping toward her. Who? What? The howling subsides as your fellow exiles scramble out to check on May. You find her in one piece, along with an unfamiliar little face. Scree-hee. Isn't he the best? Can we keep him? Scree-hoo. You sense a depth of experience in this creature, at least judging by Drive-In standards, also he looks very vastly different. In fact, you feel a connection to him. If you concentrate, perhaps you can derive some meaning from his calls and screeches. The Drive-In seems both excited and frustrated by something. You sense some pattern in this Drive-In screeches. He seems welcoming in this. You interact to try again to further interpret him. This Drive-In seems to have history with your Black Wagon. You are beginning to understand him. The Drive-In recognizes you as the new reader of the Nightwings. He is pleased to meet you. You can now understand this unusual Drive-In. That's how translation works, right? The Drive-In seems satisfied at having gotten through to you, and you explain to your companions what little you have learned of him so far. No one argues against letting the creature come along. Inside the wagon, the other Drive-In stare at him with something like reverence. The Drive-In join you. He seems to know his way around. You see the little imp has made himself at home. He rushes right up to you. Your new imp companion seems very pleased to be in the wagon. He indicates he was able to find you thanks to the swarm of howlers. He has no love of howlers, and they know not to mess with him either. He plans to set up a nest that should ward off any further trouble from them. He looks forward to the road ahead with everyone, and believes it shall be worth it. He seems to be saying he's happy to be back where he belongs, and he urges you to keep going. He bounds off toward his brother and settled in the wagon's rafters. You do not have an item for him yet. May is humming softly. I'm cleaning cobwebs. It's very important. Ruki is out on his own. Jodariel is having a light meal. Headling is foraging for food. We are now passing through Lixan, which is a fantastic name. An arid southern pass toward the ominous cairn of Ha'ub. Your new imp friend seems insistent that you take this path bearing east. Hedwin orders the wagon to a halt somewhere in the dusty wastes of Jomor Valley. There's someone on the road. Be careful, everyone. The figure watching the black wagon from afar approaches, arms spread wide, although a hat and a cloak conceal the figure's features. Then the imp rushes out towards whomever it is. The imp is very riled up at the sight of whoever is approaching, though almost in a joyous way. Tizo, it is good to see you. And you found the others, even faster than expected. Now we have a word for Tizo, who is a venerable drive imp who seems to know the ins and outs of the Nightwing's black wagon. The imp called Tizo appears very pleased. The lone minstrel he just runs full tilt, turns toward the rest of you. Hello, we have not met, but I know who you are, or who you must be. I returned as promptly as I could. Have you walked with the scribes themselves? Because I think maybe you have? Hello indeed. You had us worried there when you took off. I should knock him back into his slumber. I did not aim to cause you such concern. As soon as I awakened, I had to notify my client that the Nightwings have returned. Your client? Aye, my client, Sandalwood. He is your point of contact, as I understand. You did not find his wagon by mistake. So what now? You continue down the path. That is why I am here. When we meet my client, he shall explain. For now, you have a job to do. I assure you that I shall not interfere. But I mean to accompany you. Would that be all right? Hedwin and the others exchange looks. Welcome back, minstrel. You got a name? I am sometimes called Tariq. It is a pleasure to meet you, Nightwings. He appears to be a traveling musician that seems to be connected to the Rites. And they just never asked his name, I guess, before now. The lone minstrel returns to the black wagon with your fellow exiles. The lone minstrel rejoined the group. The cairn of Ha'ub is a foreboding sight. It is here that the next rite is soon to commence. Reader, if you have a moment, once we are settled on these grounds, I wish to speak with you in the wagon at your leisure. Made revealed, the rope collar. He seems to have something on his mind. The lone minstrel seems to have situated himself on the wagon. He is very still, not unlike when he was sleeping. Reader, I shall keep this brief, as you shortly have a rite you must conduct. You have read something of the Book of Rites, which now has an update apparently, which means that you may know something of my nature. An ancient manuscript revealing a mystic path to freedom from the downside. For centuries, the teachings of the 8 scribes have been passed down through oral tradition alone. On the contrary, you know not what he means, and he soon senses this. Forgive me, for I spoke too soon. Suffice it, I have served the Nightwings for some time. Conduct the rites with glory, and you shall achieve what you seek. The lone minstrel nods farewell to you and steps away. We now have his item. The lone minstrel Tariq's musical instrument, with which he chronicles great deeds through song, and it basically functions as a jukebox, and you can listen to background music that you've heard so far on your journey. As far as status, Ruki is currently practicing his moves. May is deep in thought. Hedwin is watching the sky. Dodariel is preparing the grounds. And we have a new page. The rope collar. In the words of Golgian, the Master General. I knew it was a fool's errand, but my liege, he would not listen. He instead insisted to pursue a certain treasure, a celestial orb, freshly fallen from the heavens in the reaches of the downside. He would be a living legend if only he could grasp it, whispered in his ear that Kaelmor rope collar, his elder and most trusted aide. Would that I slew that man myself. His was a simple and yet brilliant ruse to draw the Emperor farther still from his responsibilities and towards his greed. Thus did the Emperor begin an expedition into the Forsaken Lands. He insisted that he go himself.
Oh,
Oh, hey guys. Fancy running into you this side of the sand. So, what can I do you for? Ron? How'd you make it all this way ahead of us? Come on now, Mr. Greentail. Can't just give up all my business secrets, am I right? What I can do, though, seeing as you've been such a good customer and all, is provide for you a sample of a little something you might like. Here, check this out. Seeing as you bought that moon crest thinger from me last time, well, I'm just thinking you could use this, and I got more if you want. You receive a pinch of stardust. It does seem useful. It's a consumable item. It raises the rank of certain talismans by 1. Drag to a talisman to enhance it. Usable once. A shimmering substance with mystical properties, said to come from the heavens themselves. Thank Ron for the sample. You can interact with Ron to get him to quiet down. I guess it does do stuff. You can interact to let him be himself. He can do what he wants. He's fine. I'm gonna find more stardust. I know you're gonna like that stuff, guys. It's pretty woo! Know what I mean? And if you want some more now, I know just the individual and his dad who can get it. Catch my meaning, yeah? Just stop by some other time.
Great taste.
Ash and cold. At the start of the right, the bearer's pyre automatically gains +7. A brittle clump of ash from a ritual pyre, still faintly warm to the touch somehow. Kerfing. An old tooth from a cur who no longer needs it, though its owner gone. Her fiery spirit lives. Lunar glass. A light and reflective bit of something fallen from the stars. It seems lighter still at night. Lucrative contract. An old written order for some foolhardy wanderer to seek out some well-imagined fortune in the downside. Not sure. I'm gonna get the Kerfang because it's pretty useful. That's how you get a repeat customer there, Dad. You give him a deal. You and your fellow exiles gather around the sacred site known as the Cairn of Ha'ub, anticipating the hour that the rites are to commence again. All is quiet for a time, and then, from out of nowhere, charges in a gangly cur. He stops short and gives you a mighty sneer. Psst, that's Barker Ashpaws. Real piece of work, just don't make eye contact. Barker Ashpaws. He is a troublemaking cur who thrills in the defeat of the triumvirates who stand against him. Why, well, would you look at this lot? Even got one of our own. Consorting with the two-leggers. You're a disgrace there, mate, you realize? Good to see you, Barker. You're doing well. Didn't know you knew about the rites. I know about a lot of things, my friend. It sounds like he's probably got like an Aussie accent, but I can't do an Aussie accent, so just pretend it's there. For instance, I know you're gonna be very, very sad after we wipe the floor with you here. Don't know whose back you scratched to earn yourself a spot on the high and mighty Nightwings there, but I am gonna make sure all of you regret it. Because why not? Sounds good? Sounds good. The cur Barker laughs away as his pack stumbles after him. You hear them howling and cackling as the stars above begin to glow. And the rites baiting with square sprinting with R2 costs salmon, which regenerates automatically.
Welcome, dear reader, to the splendors of the accursed Cairn of Ha'ub. You shall find the downside grows less pleasant from this point. But first, there's a tradition to uphold. This time you stand against the dissidents. Even now they hunger to defeat you. Perhaps not simply to regain their freedom, but to deny you yours.
As the stars shine down upon you, the pack of curs you stand against this night continue hooting and howling. Boy, come on, you lot, let's boil some blood! Then Ryuki pulls you aside. Look, sister, I don't know how to say this, but I can't go against these guys. Just trust me on this one, okay? Sensei means it. Make a mental note to ask about his history with Barker whenever time permits. It's alright, Ryuki. We can take care of them. Begging your pardon, but if you need another to stand at your side this night, I have someone here whom I would recommend. Do not be coy with us, minstrel. Don the robes if you intend to stand with us. Oh, I did not mean myself. The rites are not for me, and I was instead referring to this little one. A creature wearing tiny raiments appears at the lone minstrel's side. Tizo seems to be volunteering to take on your adversaries, the dissidents. Absurd. The imp knows the rites? He knows a great deal. So long as the Nightwings stand together, he shall be at their side. Though you need not take my word for it. Tizo, our adversaries seem to be preoccupied. Perhaps you might quickly show our comrades what you can do. The little imp peers at you. You sense his connection to the rites as he awaits your guidance. Tizo seems excited to demonstrate some of his favorite tricks. Reader, influencing Tizo may take some getting used to. He is inviting you to try.
Another joins your ranks, and a mere imp. Although, no, it cannot be. Then we shall see what comes of this new partnership of yours.
So yeah, I'm not very good at using Tizo, but if you do it right, he is very, very good. Also, he explodes, or implodes. I'm really glad you can cancel that, because I've nearly had really bad moments with that. Okay. Well done as ever, Tizo. Tizo is happy to lend his support during the rites, if you could use his help. Well then, reader, who shall conduct the rites in the name of the Nightwings?
Who shall conduct the rite?
Ruki is currently unwilling. Kerfang, I'm going to put that on Tizo. I'm going to upgrade it first. It's very spicy.
Tizo.
Oh, yeah, Ruki's unwilling. May, I think. Fuck.
May.
Shiru-sama?
Everyone has some inspiration, but yeah, I'm gonna use him.
Hedwin. The choice is cast.
May the scribes watch over us, or even help us out if we need it. Time's up, you swill. Come on, boys, let's get him.
Commence.
Fuck, oh no.
The path to glory eludes us all at times. The orb. Thoroughly banished. The imp did it! Best not get overconfident, Nightwings. Edwin flung the orb into the flame.
Didn't really do much though.
Bye-bye, Edwin.
Well.
Your flames grow weak.
Not that much.
That was the last of them. In goes the orb. my. Tizo flung the orb into the flame.
Alright, you lot, that does it. No fussing No more fussing around, right? My boys and me, we're proper angry now. Okay, maybe British, something?
Careful now. Your adversary Pyre there seems rather fired up. Whatever shall you do against so fierce a foe? Alas for me. Absolution! Once more like that and we are finished here. All of the dissidents gone. And it is done. The Nightwings prevail yet again. Accomplished effortlessly, I might add. The rite is ended.
Tizo is excited to have prevailed in his first strike with your group. Oh wow, I thought, did we just win? Did we just beat them? Oh well, I'll be a heaping ball of dung, but I can't just believe you shoddy lot showed us the what for like that. My boys and I will have to take you just a tad more serious next time. Till then, you just be sure to tell old Rookie Greentail that yours truly, he remembers everything, you hear?
The rites do tend to teach something of trust.
Yeah, boy. I think I'm beginning to understand something of all this, my friend. And now you can choose a mastery for Headwind between Marks of the Master General, Rites Masteries enhancing a nomad's skill and versatility, Gold never ordered an assault in which he did not participate firsthand, Bonds of the Saurian Legion, Rites Masteries enhancing a nomad's influence over his triumvirate. The many were conscripted into the Master General's Legion, many more simply volunteered. Shared tenacity, Headwind and his allies regenerate stamina twice as quickly as usual. The warriors of the Saurian Legion fought tirelessly against countless enemies. Or Wiggins 50% more stamina, letting him jump and sprint more often. When others lay exhausted after battle, the Master General always remained sure of footing. A lot of Headwind's skills are AoEs that apply to all his allies, which is really cool.
The Master General reveals his stratagem. Something's awakened in the moon-touched girl.
The scribes, they whisper to me, they do from time to time. And now we have Tricks of the Rope Collar. Rites Masteries enhancing a savage's deafness and trickery. None could predict or outsmart Kalma Rope Collar, chief aide of the Emperor of Sod, or the Grand Trader's leanings. Rites Masteries enhancing a savage's aggression and persistence. The Rope Collar was an idiosyncratic man, whose interests he kept to himself. Snap cast, charge up time, greatly reduced. Kalma Rope Collar learned to control his impulses, knowing it was necessary to his plans. Or heightened reflex. Enemies of the Empire found armies at their footstep before they really realized what was even happening. Sprints. Yeah, she has a lot of charge up and it's weird.
A devious trick from the rope collar.
Tizo feels solemn respect for the rites and all their myriad complexities. Secrets of the Accursed Imp. Rites Masteries unleashing an imp's latent and somewhat terrifying power. The diminutive imps of the downside turned out to be much more resilient than they first appeared. Flights of the Swallow. Rites Masteries enhancing an imp's utility to the rest of his triumvirate. Without the aid of Ha'ub the Swallow, the fallen Emperor Solia Mur would never have survived. Wisp of Nature. Tizo moves much faster. The accursed imps survived the downside by remaining well hidden from mates of many natural dangers. perhaps a moon sign that you can transport to. The imps of the downside flock to the highest points in all the land whenever the moon shines bright. I'm gonna go with it.
'Tis the influence of the imp scribe. Until the stars align.
Splendid was your guidance of the Nightwings, reader. Your fellows are fortunate to have found one such as you. May you find the freedom that you seek. During the rites, exiles are instantly banished if they touch the adversary's aura. Press blah blah to evade auras. I don't know what shapes are. After besting the dissidents in a decisive victory, you return to the wagon to recover from the night's ordeal, and figure out how best to proceed. The dissidents, a triumvirate of anarchists who conduct the rites for sheer thrill, led by the cur Barker Ashpaws. You alright, Rookie? Thanks so, chum. I just need a little time. Didn't count on Barker being caught up in all this. You don't owe him your conscience. You'll sort things out with him. You always do. I do not wish to interrupt, but the dark of night is waning. Reader, would you join us outside, please? You find Jodariel and the lone minstrel gazing into the sky above the valley, which is beginning to grow pale. You look toward the heavens. Don't think we have... We have Lenariel, the Olden Star, Star of the Silver Spear. Those born under it are devoted and faithful. And I don't think we can reach anymore. Yeah. Next is Melith, the Bog Star. The Bog Star burns bright over a fetid cavern in flagging hands. Then it is as I feared. We are to press further north beneath the valley into flagging hands. A gloom-filled, desolate region of the downside, beyond which lies the sea. A fetid sprawl of noisome, festering, unpleasant adjectives, basically a disgusting swamp pit. The scribes are watching over us. They will protect us wherever we should go. Had you been to Flagging Hands, you would not say such things. The scribes have surely turned their backs on that place. If I may, the bleakness of Flagging Hands shall wear upon you, to be sure. I urge for you to take what rest you can, for you shall need your strength upon the road ahead. Your fellow exiles agree to turn in for the remainder of the night. At dawn, you shall have to press deeper into the downside. And I'm gonna talk to somebody. It's Rookie. You can tell something is troubling Rookie, though he seems relieved to see you. Hey, sister, listen, I gotta level with you real quick. You remember Barker, don't you? Not exactly easy to forget, though, believe you me, I try. Well, he's got me by the scruff. I've been down here a little while, as you can see by now, but Barker, he's been here longer. He has made quite the name down here. As for me, I needed help, you understand. I had a certain standard to uphold. So, I figured he would be the one to ask. Then Rookie hesitates. But then his familiar grin returns. So what if I owe him though, right sister? I got people back on the other side, and just between us, we're loaded. I mean rich. I have a little problem with Barker. Soon it's gonna take care of itself, just as soon as my people send the money through. So I am telling you right here and now, don't you even worry about it, and I'm sure everything on that front is going to end up real tidy real soon. With that, he scampers off before you can respond. It seems Rookie owes a debt of some sort. What is on the line exactly, you are unsure. I'm gonna touch this lute so it stops doing the thing. The lone minstrel and his white lute chronicle the journey of the Nightwings through song. Using it, you may hear glimpses of your past experiences across the downside. Nothing for now. Tizo's nest. Various scraps and things laced together with bits of ribbon and fabric, topped off with a plush fish. Tizo is currently fluttering about. Rookie is nearby, Jody is practicing lunges, Hedwin is scouting the premises, May is dancing around, and my throat is super dry. It has saved, so I'm gonna stop here for tonight. Thank you, and I will see you next time I do this, which will probably be tomorrow. Laters!